Welcome to today's lesson at Trail Tether University. Today we're going to teach you how to attach binkies, toys, and stuffed animals to your Trail Tether. The Trail Tether is the world's only hiking rated pacifier clip. It features a metal carabiner that locks onto your hiking pack handle or stroller or bassinette straps and locks on, so the metal carabiner will not allow your binky or stuffed animal or plastic toy to be pulled off, lost on the trail, lost in the parking lot. It also will stop silicone tethers and soothers from being dropped on the ground. The silicone, even though it's smooth, is very sticky, and as any parent knows, it can get pretty grimy and dirty and covered in hair pretty quickly. And so the Trail Tether will avoid you having to pick up a dirty binky or soother off the ground and sanitize it in the sink or pluck hairs off of it. The Trail Tether is made of extremely tough and durable materials. Just for fun, to test the strength of the Trail Tether, we hitched them up to our Ford F-150 and used them to tow the truck down the alleyway. The Trail Tether's held. I'll drop a link in the description if you want to watch that video. The Trail Tether's strap is also longer than your typical pacifier clip. This is important because typical pacifier clips are meant for infant clothes and have very short straps. It's as long as the specification for child safety allows for children's 8 months to 3 years old. Because of the longer strap, when you use it on a hiking carrier, it can actually reach the child properly, whereas traditional straps are too short and will just hang off the side or not reach the child. Traditional binky clips are meant for infant clothes and have fairly weak springs meant for thin fabric. When you try to clip it onto the rugged material of a hiking pack, it just doesn't hold. The clip will wear out, the spring will loosen, or a lot of them have plastic clips that will warp in the sun and will just not hold up over time. This is particularly true when your kid is being pulled in and out of a pack or a car seat or a stroller. These clips are just going to fail to hold on over time. With the Trail Tether, it has a metal carabiner that is rated for over 2,000 pounds. And because of the locking nature of the carabiner, you can't pull this off of a pack or a car seat or a stroller strap. And for this reason, you can leave your Trail Tether on your stroller, one on the bassinet, one on the car seat, one on your hiking pack, and get the kid in and out as many times as you want. And the strap will never fall off. In fact, we offer a double your money back guarantee if any binky, toy, or soother attached to a Trail Tether falls off. Also, because of the rugged nature of the materials, we offer a lifetime guarantee. Another benefit of the Trail Tether is that it has a flexible loop and strap. This allows you to attach it not just to binkies, but also to stuffed animals and hard plastic toys. We're gonna walk you through how to attach the Trail Tether to a stuffed animal, a binky, a plastic toy, and then how to connect the carabiner both to a hiking pack and the straps that would be found on a stroller, car seat, or bassinet. First, let's compare a typical pacifier clip to a Trail Tether side by side. As you can see, the Trail Tether is much longer than a typical pacifier clip. Even though it's longer, it's not unsafe for children. It was tested in a third-party lab for mechanical and strangulation hazards, as well as toxic chemical hazards, and it carries a child safety certificate. It carries this certificate for both USA and Canada. Now, the carabiner on the Trail Tether is much different than the pacifier clips in that it is pretty beefy and can fit around pretty large handles or straps, and it will anchor it to those objects so that the binky cannot fall off. As you can see, it's also quite a bit more flexible, and for this reason, it can attach to stuffed toys, not just binkies. To attach it to a binky, you know what? Look at that. Exactly why you need Trail Tethers. That is gross. To attach a Trail Tether to a binky, first you need a binky that has a loop or a bail, something that you can slip and attach a loop through. So you stick the loop through, and this is just like every other pacifier in the world. You connect it, and now your pacifier is connected to your Trail Tether. This is where the Trail Tether really gets set apart from other toy leashes and pacifier clips on the market. You can take the Trail Tether and loop it around the arm or neck of a stuffed animal. In this case, we have a tiger that our kid's grandmother knit, and you attach it around an arm, or it could be a tentacle, it could be a tail. And then now your stuffed animal is very firmly attached to the trail tether. This is not going to come off. In fact, we guarantee it won't come off. Now, how about plastic toys? Even if you have a weirdly curvy thing like a horse, or especially if you have something like a car with doors or holes with an actual metal or plastic connection that you can loop the trail tether through, you can use the trail tether in the same way as a stuffed animal to attach to most plastic toys. What you want to do is find either a neck or a leg or a tail, and I'm going to choose the tail, and you loop the trail tether around and pull it through, and you try to make sure that it gets on the skinny part, and then it won't be able to go past the wide part. Now this is fairly secure. This isn't going anywhere. The only types of toys that this wouldn't work on are really smooth or spherical toys, or things that just don't have any grippy, grabby parts to it. So the trail tether works on most toys, most soothers, most stuffed animals. However, there are some out there where it can't attach to. So I have the binky, the plastic toy, and the stuffed animal. I'm going to attach all of these to 3 common child carrier objects: a bassinet, a stroller, and a hiking carrier backpack. They are a little dirty, I apologize. Our kids are, what's the word for them? Adorable. First up, the hard toy on the bassinet. So you take the strap, and as you can see, the strap makes a solid connection all the way through. And you take the carabiner and you clip it over the strap, and now the toy, if thrown overboard, won't fall off. So it's connected to the strap still, and kid can pick it back up, play with it. Most importantly, it won't hit the ground. Now, this will not interfere with the comfort or safety of the child. So this will fit nicely in a section of the strap that's not pressed up against a leg or a body. So it really only just sits in one of those looser sections of the strap. Now for the stroller. I have here a stuffed animal. So I take the carabiner, I take the stroller strap, and you hook it into the stroller strap. And then now, child has easy access to the stuffed animal, and if they decide to throw it overboard, the way my son threw his birthday gift stuffed moose overboard at the Pittsburgh Zoo for his first birthday, then it won't be lost. It'll be hanging there for the child to pick back up, or for mom or dad to give back to the child. Most importantly, it won't get lost, and you'll save your stuffed animals. And some of them are very sentimental, like this tiger, if we were to lose it, would be a major blow, because my grandma, or my children's grandma, my mother-in-law, knit this, if you can believe that. Look how talented she is. So losing that would be pretty sad for us. Last but not least, we have a hiking backpack carrier, and these typically have the toughest handles or straps to get items around, because they're rugged, they're meant for the outdoors, and also because they carry a load when you pick them up. A lot of times these handles are pretty thick and padded, and so when you have one of these, it just really isn't, it's not even designed to clip to something this thick, and it won't clip, or if it does, it'll just bite it a little bit and then fall off really easily. So you take your trail tether and you just stick the carabiner around and then curve it around, and it clicks right on. And then now your child has really easy access to their soother. You know, you could also put a stuffed toy or a stuffed animal, a plastic toy, but a lot of times it's a soother on these hiking packs. And one major benefit is a lot of times the kid will fall asleep, or they'll throw it overboard. Okay, now it's down over the side. Well, the parent And, you know, I'm gonna actually sit down and demonstrate this a little bit. If it's all the way up here, your arm just doesn't bend that way. Maybe some people, like if you're a ballerina or something, or a contortionist, you can get your arm up there, but my arm wouldn't be able to get a short binky hanging to the side. However, this is long enough where my arm does reach, and then it's a simple matter of going right backwards and dropping it back to your kid. And so it's not just the fact that it can reach your kid, it's also that it's long enough for you to grab and give back to your kid. So that's really a benefit where after you hike with one of these, you understand how convenient it is to have this type of locking / length style strap. And it's rugged enough where you could leave this on your pack forever and it's not gonna fall off with the in and out. Okay, now we're gonna do a direct comparison of a Trail Tether versus your typical binky clip. Which, by the way, these clips are very good for newborns, infants, and me and my wife, we do use these, and they're great. They're just not really designed for certain applications. And so this is an example of that, and I'm gonna demonstrate it. So when you're hiking with your, sorry about that. When you're hiking with your kid, okay, they might be, this is all the way out and they're right about here. Now this doesn't really reach, okay? So they're gonna need to lean in and grab it and kind of like hunch over this padded part just to get the tether. But what will happen typically before then is, see, it already fell off. Oops. See, it's on the ground. It's what the Trail Tether is designed to prevent. So I clip it back on. All right, so this is a thick strap, and these things are great for infant clothes, but as soon as you tug on it a little bit, it comes right off. And my son makes a lot of games of throwing soothers overboard. So if your kid's anything like my son, boom, it's out overboard and lost. So the Trail Tether, let's clip that back on so you can see the length again, side by side. Clip it back on. Try to squeeze it on there. Now this has no problem reaching the child, having the child look around at nature, really enjoy their hike. And again, if it falls to the side, you can actually reach up and give it back. And most importantly, it can't be, this is impossible to break. It's not humanly possible for a child or even, I think, an adult to rip this off. So now you're done, let's take it off. Well, taking it off is just as easy as putting it on. You open the bar or the gate, and I'm doing this one-handed, but you just unclip it and it's easy as that. And it's even easier with two hands. So there you have it. That's how to use the Trail Tether as a pacifier clip and toy leash. And that's why it's both the strongest pacifier clip in the world and also the most versatile, being able to attach to both binkies, stuffed toys, and hard plastic ones, to your hiking carrier, your stroller, your car seat, and your bassinet. Thanks for tuning in to Trail Tether University. We'll see you next lesson.